I think that the pendulum is swinging back. As I said, there's this historical trends. You go from one extreme to the other. In the late 60s, early 1970s, we'd moved to the state of mind, all human beings are good, we can redeem anybody, and we invested that way. And then sometime in the late 80s, early 90s, we went to the other way to lock them up and throw the key away. So the pendulum swings pretty much on its own, any rate. The idea for executive leadership, political leadership, to get it in balance where it ought to be. I think we had gone too far. Let me give you one example. In mental health, which is a real tragic event, society, by and large, in the 1970s, had determined mental institutions were bad, came up with a theory that if you got them out of institutions, put them back on the street, their neighbors and their families would take them in and society would take care of them. And so they emptied out the mental institutions. If you take a look at what happened, the neighborhood and society didn't take care of them, they got in trouble, they ended up in prison. So now one of the largest mental health providers in society in the United States are the prisons. And consider a mentally ill person in a prison or in a jail, they tend not to do well in those environments. They tend to get in even more trouble and stay in jail and prison even longer. So the net effect is, if you take a look at the long haul, we moved a lot of people out of mental institutions and moved them into prisons and jails where they're not doing well. Well, that pendulum needs to be brought back so that not only does the criminal justice system provide mental health services, but those that get out are then picked up by society and are taken care of. They need help, and they often don't have the family support that they would need to get them the help. So there's ways in which that has to be done. With the reentry efforts, I think the legislatures are starting to get it. Why build a $100 million prison if for $5 million of education you don't have to build that prison? Why build a criminal justice system that has to deal with 240,000 felonies when, if you invest $3 million in substance abuse treatment, you can save all that crime and people getting hurt? I've got to make that case. Political leadership has to react to that case, but I think they're listening, and I think the pendulum is naturally starting to move back anyway. I just need to help adjust it to where it needs to be.